Welcome back. Now after importing the data in Alteryx, let us understand about the configuration window and the results window. On the left hand side of the screen, if you see, we have the configuration window and the name is given as input data. If you click outside, you can see the configuration window will change for the workflow. Now this entire space is known as the workflow and this is known as the input data. So let us click on the input data and you can see the name changes over here. So suppose tomorrow if you do not understand what is this icon all about or what is the tool all about, you can look on the left hand side. The very first thing, that's a path, the location where you have connected with that particular file, and these are the options inside this Microsoft Excel in the Alteryx window. Now on the right hand side, if you see, 2678 records have been loaded. So suppose if you want to just load as 10 records, I'll type here as record limit as 10. I'll type here 10 and then I can click on this run button. Carefully observe, on the right hand side I just have only 10 records displayed at the results window, and if I increase the size you can see 10. But whereas if you keep it empty and if you execute, all the records would be shown on the right hand side. Okay. Next, the other option is file format. See, today it is a file format as .xlsx. Tomorrow the file format can be CSV, can be PDF or any format. So then what you can do is, from this drop down you can select any other file format. These are all the inbuilt file formats. You can import data from almost 100 data sources in Alteryx, 100 plus. Next one, the other option we have table or query. Now if you are importing data from, let's say, as SQL, Oracle, any other data source, it might be called as query. Here, since we are picking up the data from an Excel sheet, we can call as a table or a sheet over here. So right now the sheet name is customers. So if I click on 3 dots, I can also change the sheet name from this drop down. Currently I have only one sheet, so that's not a problem. I can click on OK. Next one, searching subdirectories. If I have multiple Excel files kept into multiple nested folders, then I can use this checkbox. We'll see this option in the next example. Then we have output file name as a field. Right now there are only 12 columns which have been displayed. So if I tell them output the file name as a field, and I just want the file name only, and if I click on run button, let us see the 13 column. If you see, that's a 13 one. And what is the 13th column I have? The name of the file is customers. Okay, the name of the file is customers and it's an Excel file here. On the other hand, if I tell them it should have the full path, and then if I click on run button, so if you see on the right hand side, it will give me the whole location, the full path of the Excel file. Now if I scroll down, you can see first row contains the data. You know, sometimes we have a data, let's say in a CSV or any other format, and I want to tell them that the first row, it contains the data. So I can select that checkbox, but for time being we don't require that. Start line of import. So not always you'll be getting data from the first line. Sometimes the data might start from the 5th line or 10th line. So that time you can define the line number from where the data should be imported. So you can just click on run button and all the options will be executed. So these options are simple, easy, and it will change depending upon the file you pick up. Right now it is an Excel file. Tomorrow if you pick up a CSV, PDF or any other file, the options will definitely change. So that's all about the configuration window. Now coming to the results window at the bottom, if you observe, the 13 fields will tell you the columns. This will tell you the number of records which have been displayed. Data means you are actually watching the data. You see the name of the customer, the city, the country, etc. But if you want to understand the metadata, now what is metadata? It will tell you the information about the columns. So if I click on metadata option, now it will tell me the customer ID column, the data type is double and the size is 8. I repeat, we have state as a column name, vstring as a data type, and 255 as a variable size for that column. The source of the file is from this particular location. So metadata will not show you the data, it will give you the information about the columns, and data will actually give you the whole data information, all 26,000 records. So when you click on run button, you get the output over here. The other options on the left hand side, if you see, we have one more option named as annotation. Now suppose if you open this file tomorrow, it's very difficult to understand what exactly is this. The name at the bottom is also not that great. So what you can do is you can just select this text over here, delete that, and you can write as raw data. Okay, raw data, and then you can click on this button over here. Now this will come as an annotation. You see, that will come as an annotation below that tool. So when you're opening that file, it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so that's a raw data. So remember, this was the annotation option, and that was the data you have written here. Now coming back to this configuration window. Okay, so for time being, I hope you have understood the information about the results window and the configuration window inside Alteryx. That's all for this video.